If you are over 60 and notice this sign, your blood sugar may already be too high. Welcome back to the conversation. Today, we are talking about something that is often whispered about in doctors' offices, but rarely explained in a way that makes sense for our daily lives. We are talking about the silent shift that happens in our bodies once we cross that 60-year milestone. Most of us grew up believing that high blood sugar or type 2 diabetes would be obvious. We expected to be constantly parched, drinking gallons of water, or running to the bathroom every 30 minutes. But the reality for those of us in our 60s and 70s is much more subtle. Our bodies have spent decades adapting and compensating. By the time we reach this age, the classic symptoms are often masked by what we assume is just the natural process of getting older. You wake up feeling a bit stiff and you think it is just your joints. You feel a bit foggy after lunch and you think it is just a need for a nap. You see a bit of blurriness in the newspaper and you think your prescription needs updating. But what if those were not signs of age? What if those were the early warning sirens of a system that is struggling to process fuel? Let us look at the biology for a moment, because understanding the why is the first step to taking back control. Think of your body as a high-performance engine that has been running for 60 years. In our youth, the fuel system was incredibly efficient. When you ate a piece of fruit or a slice of bread, your pancreas released insulin, which acted like a master key. This key opened the doors to your muscle cells and your liver, letting the sugar in to be burned as clean energy. But as we hit 60, three things happen simultaneously. First, our muscle mass naturally begins to decline, unless we are training specifically to keep it. Muscles are the primary sponges for blood sugar. With less sponge, the sugar has nowhere to go. Second, our pancreas, that hard-working organ, starts to produce a little less insulin, or the insulin it does produce is not as potent as it once was. And third, our cells become resistant. It is as if the locks on the doors have become rusted and the keys just will not turn anymore. This results in what doctors call circulating glucose. The sugar is stuck in your pipes, flowing through your veins and arteries like tiny shards of glass. It irritates the lining of your blood vessels, it inflames your nerves, and it thickens your blood. So let us talk about the signs you are likely missing. The first one is what I call the invisible sock syndrome. Have you ever sat down at the end of the day and felt a strange buzzing in your feet? Not quite pain, not quite a cramp, but a sensation that feels like your feet are humming or as if you are wearing a thin, vibrating sock. This is often the very first sign of peripheral neuropathy. High sugar is literally starving the tiny nerves in your toes of oxygen. Because the feet are the furthest point from your heart, they are the first to feel the effects of poor circulation and nerve damage. If you feel this, do not brush it off as tired feet. Your nerves are trying to tell you that the blood surrounding them is too thick with sugar. The second sign is the post-meal coma. We have been told for years that a food coma is normal. It is not. If you find that 30 minutes after a meal containing rice, bread, or potatoes, you feel an overwhelming, heavy exhaustion that forces you to sit down, your body is experiencing a massive glucose spike followed by a crash. This roller coaster is exhausting for your brain. When your blood sugar levels are swinging wildly, your brain cannot get a steady supply of energy, leading to that characteristic brain fog where you lose your train of thought mid-sentence. Another sign that people rarely link to blood sugar is skin changes. Take a look in the mirror. Have you noticed small, fleshy growths appearing around your neck, your eyelids, or under your arms? These are skin tags. While they are harmless on their own, clinical research shows a very strong correlation between skin tags and insulin resistance. Additionally, if you have a persistent itch on your lower legs or a patch of skin that has turned slightly darker or velvety, your body is trying to push excess insulin out through your skin. Now, why does this matter so much right now? Because at 60, your cardiovascular system is at a crossroads. High blood sugar does not just affect your energy, it changes the structural integrity of your heart and your kidneys. But here's the part that should give you immense hope. Your body is incredibly resilient. Even after 60 years of life, your cells are still capable of healing if you change the environment they live in. So how do we fix this without turning our lives upside down? We start with the order of operations. This is a simple trick that requires no special food and no expensive supplements. When you sit down for dinner, change the sequence. Always eat your fiber first. Start with the salad, the steamed broccoli, or the green beans. Then move to your protein, like your fish or chicken. Save the starch, the rice, or the bread for the very end. By putting the fiber in your stomach first, you create a physical barrier, a sort of biological filter that slows down the absorption of sugar into your bloodstream. You can eat the exact same meal but have a completely different blood sugar response just by changing the order. Next, we use the 10-minute rule. Your muscles are the biggest consumers of glucose in your body. After your largest meal of the day, do not go straight to the sofa. You do not need to go for a 5-mile run. Just 10 minutes of light movement, clearing the table, a slow walk around the block, or even just standing up and doing some light stretches tells your muscles to open up. It creates a vacuum effect where your muscles suck the sugar out of your blood to use for movement, bypassing the need for a lot of insulin. Finally, let us talk about hydration and sleep. As we age, our thirst mechanism becomes less sensitive. Many seniors are walking around chronically dehydrated. When you are dehydrated, your blood volume drops, which makes the concentration of sugar in your blood much higher. It is like boiling down a sauce. The less water there is, the thicker and more sugary it becomes. Drinking a glass of water every 2 hours is one of the easiest ways to keep your blood sugar numbers in a healthy range. If you are listening to this and recognizing these signs, do not be discouraged. See it as an opportunity. You have caught the whispers before they turned into a shout. You have the power to protect your vision, your kidney function, and your mobility for the decades to come. Take a moment tomorrow morning to really listen to your body. Check your feet, monitor your energy after lunch, and look at your skin. Your body wants to be in balance. It wants to give you the energy to play with your grandkids, to travel, and to enjoy this beautiful stage of life. I want you to try the Fiber First rule for just 3 days and see how your energy levels change. You might be surprised at how much clearer your head feels and how much more stable your mood becomes. Thank you for spending this time with me. Your health is your greatest asset, especially now. Take care of your body. Listen to its whispers, and it will take care of you. Would you like me to create a set of daily meal plans specifically designed to avoid these spikes for someone over 60?